Good evening, everyone. My name is Carol. Hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday and everything is going well. Today, we will be talking about creating AI solutions with Power Apps. I'm looking so forward to this session, and I would like to introduce our speaker, Nasis Mbuyu.
Hey Carol, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
How's everything going? Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday evening.
Everything is going well. Just school is so hectic.
Yeah, it's getting the better of us, eh?
Yay, 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 yay.
Mhm. So yeah, I heard that you mentioned we'll be creating AI solutions with Power Apps. Since it's AI Tuesday, we have to involve AI. So I don't know if I can start, or would you like to say anything before I start?
No, you can start. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, cool. So I first like to start with a video. Um, so basically, um, earlier this year in May, announced a new feature on Microsoft Build. Am I still audible?
Yes, you're still audible.
Okay, cool. I was just checking. So basically, earlier on this year, they announced a new feature on at Microsoft Build, whereby we can create solutions or we can create apps without actually designing it in a way I can say it. So basically what you do is just draw what you want your app to look like, take a picture of it, and then it's going to turn into an app. And that's what we'll be showcasing today. I'll be showcasing today, and it's part of Power Apps per se. So I'll play the video for us to get started. We play the video. Screen is visible and press play.
Drawn sketch. As you can see here, an express design.
Internet's a bit lagging. Okay, internet's a bit lagging. So basically, I wanted to showcase what we'll be doing up today, but now the internet's a bit lagging. I'll come back to it basically. So as I said earlier on, this technology allows us to draw a picture of what we want or how we want our application to look like, and then on top of it, we just take a picture of it. It's gonna turn into an app. So I think it's fully loaded. Let me play it from the beginning.
Company, the developer workflow influences how the entire company works.
It's loading. Okay, I'll wait for it to load.
Now let's talk about
Okay. We'll come back to it. So without wasting any time, while the video is loading, basically what I wanted to introduce is called Power FX or Power FX Design, basically. So I'm gonna go over to Power Apps, right? I'm gonna go over to Power Apps. As you can see, I'm already in Power Apps, so that's where we'll be doing most of our applications today in Power Apps. So this is Power Apps. You're probably wondering, what is Power Apps? How do I get started? Where do I go? So first things first, you need to log into your Office 365 email, right? So now I've logged into my Office 365 email, and you're probably asking yourself, what is an Office 365 email?
low code, no code.
So let me pause this. So you're probably asking yourself, what is an Office 365 email? So basically your institution email, your DET for life, your UJ email, your VIT email, whatever institution you go to, you just simply use that Office 365 login and you sign in. After signing in, you come to your office and you can see over here you have a range arrays of tools that you can use, from Teams to SharePoint to Power Apps to Power Automate, etc. So you simply click Power Apps, click over here Power Apps, and it's going to open the Power App platform for you basically. If for more details, we have a series of episodes on Power Apps. I'm not going to touch on it. That's the Power Ninja's job on Power Thursdays. I'm just going to get started with the application per se. So I'm going to the home page of the Power Apps so that you can see exactly how I got started with this application that I'm making right now. Cancel all of this, right? So this is how the Power App application looks like when you load it for the first time. So it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Power Apps. It's loading. The network's a bit slow today. So do apologize for the connection today. It's a bit bad. Connection is a bit lagging. It's loading, it's loading. Let me start here. Power Apps. So when you load your Power Apps for the first time, it should lead you to this site over here, as you can see. Lead you to this website. It's loading. It's Loading. Loading. So it's loading. So there is the Power Apps. It's finally loaded. You say. So the Power Apps has finally loaded, as you can see. So now they give you options to start your application from blank app to Dataverse to SharePoint, Excel, SQL, image preview, and Figma preview. And that's the one we'll be working with basically. So there's image preview and from Figma preview basically. So I'm firstly gonna start with Figma preview. In order for you to start with Figma, what is Figma? First of all, Figma is a tool or a website that allows you to make prototypes of applications. So basically, it allows you to design how you want your application to look like, where you want the button to be, which color you want the background to be, which pictures you want to have on the application. So that's what Figma is there for. So first of all, you go into Figma, right? You go into Figma, and then you go to Figma. You sign in into your Figma account. After signing into your Figma account, you can get started with the template. There's a template available to you, or you can also get started with your own design that you want basically. So I'm gonna quickly show you. So here's my Figma account that I've already logged into. I've already logged into Figma, as you can see. So now after logging into Figma, I'm gonna start with the template for time's sake, for time, because that's how I plan to get started. It's loading. So there's a Microsoft Power Apps template that you can get started with. I'm loading the template. You can never mind you can also use your own template, or you can create your own one from scratch, but you just have to make sure you follow your certain rules or certain guidelines so that your application or your design can be recognized on the Power Platform basically. So basically I've loaded the template here. It explains me what I need to know and everything, and then I come to here by pages. As you can see, there are a lot of pages that I can choose from, but I'm gonna quickly just choose a sample app. So I've chosen a sample app, as you can see. So now this is a design of an app. I can't do anything, but this is how they want the application to look like, as you can see, right? So now I'm gonna I'm gonna use this application to create my Power App on Power Apps. So what I'm gonna do is just quickly take the link, copy this link that I have over here. Then I'm gonna jump over to Power Apps. Jump over to Power Apps where we have it open. Click Figma Preview. After clicking Figma Preview, I'm gonna give it a name, Inspire SA. Inspire SA app, right? Inspire SA app. The link to Figma, right? I pasted the link to Figma, and then the access token. So the access token is like a secret password or a key for you to access the application, right? So that's like what the access token access is all about. So I'm gonna go back to Figma, quickly, and get the access token. So yeah, I'm in Figma. I'll come to my settings here. Settings. I'll come to settings. Looks like I have it open twice. So, okay. Come to Figma, access token. Access token. So it is a bit of a confusion. Access token. So to view your access token, you simply come to your profile. Your profile. So come to your profile. Do apologize for that. I had two tabs opened, so it was a bit confusing. You come to your so to access your access token, you simply go to your profile and wait for it to load quickly. It's loading. Access token. So it's just about to finish loading. It just finished loading, and then you come here by settings on your Figma. So in order for us to access it, we have to go back to the Figma homepage. I do not know why Figma does it. I have to go to the Figma homepage. Figma homepage. So it's figma.com. 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 So there's the homepage of Figma. So where I'm getting the template from. I click over here by my name, right, as you can see, and then I click settings. I click settings. I come to account to take the plugin quickly, the access token. The access token. Access token settings. Access token. So scroll the way down to access token. It's supposed to be here. So there's it here, access token. So I have one created from when I was testing. So now I'm quickly going to create a new one just to test how to Inspire SA. Test, right? So Inspire SA test. I've now created the access token. So here's the access token loaded over here. I simply copy it, and then I go back to my Power Apps because that's where we need to create it per se. So I come to my Power App. So here's my Power App that we are working on. So you name your application, you put the link of your application, and last but not least, you put your access access token that we got from Figma, and then you choose where you want how you want the application to be, a tablet or a phone, right? So I want it to be a phone application. So I create it. It's loading for me basically. So basically what happened is I didn't design the application from scratch. I didn't do anything from scratch. All I did was take from a design from Figma, from the template on Figma, and then I'm putting it onto Power Apps per se, basically. So it makes it easy. I don't have to spend time designing an application or designing how I want the application to look like, but instead I got it from a template, or I designed it from Figma because Figma is used to design user interfaces. I get it from Figma and I bring it into Power Apps, and exactly the same way it looks like on Figma is the same way it's going to be on Power App, as you can see. So now there's it. It's just loaded on Power Apps. So the exact same thing that we saw on Figma is the exact same thing that we see on our Power App. Yeah, so let's just compare the two quickly for you to see exactly how it is. how it's supposed to look like. So there's our Power App on Figma, right? It's here. Power App on Figma. So there's our Power App on Figma, and then there's it on the Power App, basically. Just for the up and down. So there's the app on Figma, basically, and now if it does the exact same thing on Power Apps. Let me just show you exactly. I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, it's not logged in. So let me go to logged in. So there's the sample app that we have on Figma, right? There's a sample app that we have on Figma, and there is our Power App per se, basically. So this is a new feature that came out in May this year, basically at Microsoft Build. This is a new feature that came out of Microsoft Build. So let me compare the two again for you to see. So there's the two applications here. But there's the feature, as you can see. The same application that I was designing on Figma is the same application that I imported onto our Power App, and thereby I can now start giving it commands and designs to do. Basically, I can start putting code inside it. Basically, as much as say less code, more power. You in fact do a little bit of coding, but it's not the hardcore coding that normal programmers do. But it's the type of language that you use when you're working with Excel. Basically, it's called PowerFX. Basically, so the same language or the same code that you use in Excel, the same commands that you use in Excel is the same commands that you use to make your Power App run. So that's the first feature of that I wanted to demonstrate, right? Then the second feature is to design using a picture, basically, to design a picture. So here we design using Figma. Now I'm going to design using pictures per se, right? So coming back to Power Apps again. So now instead of choosing the Figma preview, you're going to say upload an image, right? So I've already chosen that option, and I'm going to name it again, give it a name, Inspire SA test, Inspire SA image test, because that's what I want to name it. And then you can choose to upload your own image or select a sample. So I'm going to choose select a sample for what you want to do. As you can see, these are all from appointment. So this is from a form. This is from a board. As you can see, this is from a board. This is from a survey again, from a form. So basically, you drew it on a board. You draw it on a scrap piece of paper, and then you get to take it into you get to make it into an app, basically. So now, Carol, I don't know which one you want me to choose. Which one can I choose? Which one would you want me to choose?
The one in the middle. Yes, that one.
This
No,
one
the one in
first.
the middle. Yes, that one.
Okay, cool. So basically, this was drawn on a board, as you can see on a marker board, right? So this is a registration form drawn on a marker board. And then over here, it tells you tablet or phone recommended. So it tells you which format you want, which format the application must be, and it gives you the recommendation. You can choose your own one, but you can choose the recommended one. So I'm choosing the recommended one, which is a phone, right? If we had to make one for a tablet, let's quickly show you the one for the tablet. You see now it switches to recommended tablet, per se. So now, let's go back to the one that Carol said I must use. So we're gonna create this one. So it's identifying components for us to use in our application, basically. It's identifying. So basically, from that image that we uploaded or we used, it now starts to extract each word, each box, each component that we have on that picture, as you can see, and it's highlights here. So basically, the highlights are the components that's gonna be using. So the orange one stands for text label. The green one is the text input where users are gonna input. The red one is the drop down, and the purple one is the button, right? So you can rename these components that you want, or you can even choose it to be different. You can retag it again, basically. So if I want you to retag it, I simply select it. I can delete the tag, or I can put a new tag which I want, right? So that's an option over there. But I'm happy with everything the way it is right now, and I'm gonna click next. Right. So now over here is the data source, right? Where you want to input your data. We don't have any database, or we don't have any data source. So now I'm just going to click create, and then 3, 2, 1 from an image that we had, on the board, from the image that we had on a scrap piece of paper, we've now turned it into an application using Power FX design. So basically, I wanted to showcase this design to create my AI solution, which I don't think we'll have time for today's session, because we won't have time for it basically. So I think I'm gonna end it off here for today, because we took a lot of time. The connection took a lot of time at the beginning, but there you go. So from the picture that we had, right? The picture that we had on the board, we've now turned it into an application. As you can see, a registration form application. So there's two ways. From Figma, here's the one we did on Figma, right? Here's the one we did on Figma. Let me try and zoom out. Let me try. So here's the one that we did on Figma. Reload. So here's the one we did on Figma, and now also the one that we did from a picture. So you can see two ways of creating a solution without designing anything from scratch. We just drew a picture, we just designed it on Figma, and then boom, we put it into Power Apps. So I'm gonna end it over here, Carol. Over to you.
My question is that do you use the same codes that you use on Excel, like the exact same codes, or like do they differ somehow?
So to answer that question, it's the exact same code, same exact commands that you will use on Excel, but a little bit different, a little bit of additions, because um not everything that we do here in Power Apps is done on Excel, if you get what I mean. Yeah. So
Okay.
here's so sorry. So here's the one that we got from Figma, right? All this is the start page, the sign up page, right? And the thank you page. All three from Figma. We designed it on Figma, and then we put it onto Power Apps, right? And then this one is from an image from a board that we took. We just brainstorm on the board, and we put it into an application. So yeah,
And then
you wanted to say?
is it necessary to like go from this app to this app? Isn't it possible to just do everything on the same platform?
Yeah, it's possible. Like as in what? Everything in one platform.
Like, because I saw that you went from I think Figma to another app. Like you kept going to two different apps.
That was my. I mean, like the laptop being slow. But what I simply did was I studied here on Figma. So Figma is like a UI interface. Basically, allows you to design interfaces for users, how you want your application to look and feel. So I simply took that design. Over here, I can't code anything. I simply took that design and put it on Power Apps. It designed it for me. All the focus is on the code and giving it functionality. I can do it via Figma or in a picture. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, okay. And then my last question is that do you have to download the Figma app in order to do everything, or it's already on Microsoft?
So the Figma app, it's not part of Microsoft. It's a different company on its own. But you can it. I don't know if they have an app, but you just go onto the Figma website, sign in, and you can uh, sign in, and you can start designing how your app, how you want your app to look and feel, basically. But
And then
remember, the
like can
point
the
is
app be
just
unique? Can like my app be unique? Like not the same as like any other person's app.
yeah, it can be unique. You're designing it from scratch. You can design from templates or from scratch. It's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
no problem. So for next week, we're just gonna add the AI solution I've built because of time.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, no problem. Thank you so much for such an informative evening. I learned a lot.
Mm,
Every
that,
Tuesday, it's like I'm learning a lot.
yeah. I mean, that's what technology is. There is for everyone, and there's a lot that you can do with it, basically. So, and that's what the channel is about. So before I go, I just want to say that next week we'll be having a guest for AI Tuesday. If if not Tuesday, it'll be on Monday. But we'll be having a guest who will be showcasing more about AI. We will reveal it more on time. So you must stay tuned to see who it is. Basically, I won't spoil it.
Looking forward
So
to
yeah,
see who it is.
okay, cool.
Thank you. Bye.
So yeah, we would like to say don't forget to subscribe, share, and let us know your questions in the comments. I will be sure to answer and get back to you. And as Carol just mentioned right now, we enjoy your evening and see you next time.